Folks, it's that time of day again. No, not to do laundry, not the dryer. Look at this, look at this. Rudy, here's the story of how I came by this collector's edition set, also known as CE, or Ice. My mom knew I loved Magic when I was younger, and she saw the old Pokemon tin in a garage sale several years back. It was $2. Oh my goodness. Is that what that picture is? A $2 Pokemon tin? Oh my god, look at that. I remember when I was a kid, all those Pokemon base set cards, because the way kids handled them, they would curl like that, just like the Magic cards. Hilarious, isn't it? And it was $2. I had some loose Magic cards and a few Pokemon cards. And so she said, you know, what the heck, and grabbed it for me. Man, it's been sitting in my closet for 6-7 years now, and I had pretty much forgotten about it. Fast forward last week, and I'm cleaning out my closet in my office. Here it comes. I find this weird old tin. Inside these black bordered Mujic cards with square flipping corners, your face has square corners, and gold trim backs. I thought to myself, the heck are these? Magic cards don't have square corners. As far as I can recall, I never seen this before. Thanks for the opportunity for the deal. No problem, Jacob. First of all, I won't go too far in the video. Very cool packaging, by the way. I've never seen a unique little packaging like that. Only down, I mean, it had more outer protection, but still, you want to be careful. Don't ship just like this, something that valuable. First thing that stands out to me is we don't have the infamous collector's edition outer packaging. If anybody's watching this channel and you have an international or a regular collector's edition, the little box, an empty box, or multiple empty boxes, I'll pay you between $50 and $100, depending on how many boxes and the condition of the box, and I'll pay your shipping if somebody doesn't mind. That's why I always need the empty I need the empty packaging, because I get a lot of these collector's edition sets, and I don't have the original box to store them in. So if anybody out there is watching this video, AlphainvestmentsLLC at gmail.com, please, and I'd like to buy some of the outer packaging. Make sure there's nothing else hidden inside of here. Very cool packaging. Okay. I want to go over what I think is kind of where we're at in the market. I'm getting a lot of questions on the reserve list lately because, you know, I know I haven't been covering it as much as I used to back in 2016 through 2020 because I'm involved with so many different card games in 2021. Very diversified. You got to diversify your bonds. Come on, try to be playful and fun. So, first of all, the reserve list market has not really declined in value. It's been very flat, so that's actually been a very good sign. These are very nice. Little curling to them, which is very strange for collector's edition cards. It might be caused by the sleeves or something. Overall, pretty nice. Little chips, and this one's... I'm just hoping none of these are really played or used. They look pretty good. I just feel that these do... I'm still not a huge fan of the product. I've always said it, and again, please don't contact me to offer to buy. I always remember, as always, I've said it a million times, but if you're new to the channel... any old Magic cards, reserve list cards that you see on the channel are not for sale. I appreciate all the contacts and offers every time, but please keep that in mind. None of these are for sale. They are for the Rudy 3rd floor basement underground. Boy, these are nice. So yeah, I just want to comment about that. So if you also have one of those outer boxes, I'd love to buy some additional packaging just to kind of house these in their original type of the way they were meant to be stored, as I always say, not in sleeves. Anyways, back to everything. Yeah, so the reserve list seems to be pretty calm. I'm not seeing any major price appreciation. I'm not seeing any price tanking. Things appear, again, very calm for a weaker market. And that is something we have not seen. Make sure we got all 10 dual lands here. That is something I have not seen in previous pullbacks and previous bear markets. Usually either new stuff or old stuff has a pretty strong price retracement, kind of like the revised cards did. Revised cards, when they retrace and drop in that May-June time period when all the buy lists, everything declined, that was it. Revised buy list was the biggest percentage declining category in Magic cards across the board. And since then, nothing else has really done much. Got a few little nicks and chips there, but still looks very nice. Boy, this is a great set. But yeah, I haven't seen any real movement at all. It's been very calm. And I've been explaining, I've been sending out some Patron messages, and I've been letting everybody know. I just want to reinforce to everybody that I believe firmly we are laying the framework for the next leg up and the next run that's probably going to occur in 2022. So I really, really have been feeling that way. Do we have 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, just checking. So Anyway, so I just want people to be aware of that. These are the times. See, it's so funny. Like, these are the time periods. Like, almost nobody's like, Rudy, dude, I'm building my positions. I'm keeping an eye out for everything. Like, no one does that. You know, it's just people just don't, until everything skyrockets and becomes all mainstream and prices are going up and everyone's all wound up and hype train is flying through your ex-girlfriend's backyard. Until that happens, like, nobody seems to care. Like, these are the times, if you're dollar cost averaging into anything, whether it's stocks, bonds, collectibles, real estates, cryptos, you know, washers and dryers, whatever you're accumulating, you know, always just average it. Just do a little bit. Like, do once a week. You know, pick something once a week and add to your position. Pick something once a month, depending whatever your schedule is. Or buy something small, a little bit every day for a couple dollars. Do something tiny. Slowly building positions is the key to this stuff. Everybody's like, oh, Rudy, dude, I'm going to sell. I'm selling out. And then right when we get a crash again, I'm going to buy it all right back. Ah, Timmy. These Timmys they're obsessed with trying to time the market. Oh, he's got a little nick. People are just obsessed with trying to do that. And sure, and the problem is, once somebody times the market and they get it right, they sell something, like they'll unload a position for 10 grand, and then they time the market and the price drops back to like 6-7 grand, and they buy it back. They tell everyone, like they brag, like they literally figured out how to solve a Rubik's Cube by throwing it against Rudy's fish tank. Like they figured out literally the Da Vinci Code of meaning of life. The problem is, as with all gamblers and risk takers, they're not going to tell you about all the times they got it wrong. They're not going to tell you the times that they sold and locked in at 10,000 and it never went back down and they had to buy back in at 15 or 20,000. That's the problem with all of these situations, is you don't get the full story, and the story becomes very biased. You know, I've told you all that all the time. My biggest regrets in the last 15 years of being very hot and heavy in this industry is really nothing that I majorly purchased or didn't go up in value or dead money. My biggest regrets still remain the deals I walked away from and the deals I didn't take because we didn't agree on price, or, you know, Rudy was holding his ground on a certain number. That still remains the biggest issue. That's the most frustrating thing. And I always, that always bothers me. Whether it's new Phyrexia, oh god, stupid set. I refuse to buy those boxes for $300. What a ripoff. And here we are, right? Oh god, what happened to this? Illusionary Mass. What happened to this guy? Scratchy. Man. All right. So, you know, those are the things that bother me. You know, you know, it was kind of like the From the Vault thing that I was involved with like 6 months ago, where I spent like almost a year, or not a year, I spent like the previous 4 or 5 months, I guess it was almost a year process, you know, researching and starting to buy these things. So I couldn't understand why some of these prices were, what the heck happened to this? Is this water damaged? Oh my, we got some water damage here, folks. The whole card is wavy and jacked up. Okay, let's put that aside. Yikes. Okay, didn't see that coming. Okay, we really need to check all. Usually I don't check like random cards like that. I don't really, but this one being individually sleeved and everything, this is okay. Anyways, yeah, that's, oh god, I look back at that stuff and I'm like, you know, I remember just second guessing myself so many times in the from the vault situation, because I was like, all right, I gotta be missing something. It can't be this easy. The market can't be wrong. The market gets crap wrong all the time, man. It's so funny when you're like, by the way, the market's wrong. Everyone's wrong. You know, it's like, what are you talking about? Whoa. Anyways, but yeah, these, yeah, like I've told you all, I do believe the next leg up is really going to be, it could be the biggest, most devastating kind of game changer for the vintage Magic market if we have another substantial leg up, or not if, but when we have another substantial leg up, and some of the market prices just start to become so extreme that it's just going to become either almost unobtainable or to the point where it's just museum level stuff. That's what I've been very adamant about, and I've been kind of discussing that in my videos for the last 3-4 months. And I think we are going to be approaching that date, and I think it's going to happen. I think it's one of those situations where we're going to wake up and, like, out of nowhere, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be like, whoa, that card just got bought out. And then the next day, whoa, wait a minute. Those three just went up. Like, I feel like that's going to be how the market's going to change. It's going to be very aggressive. It's going to be very quick. It's going to be very erratic, and it's not going to be expected. It's just going to come out of nowhere, and it's really just going to completely just, I don't know, I don't want to say devastate, but it's going to be a system shock. Anybody remember that old video game from the 90s? It's going to be a major system shock, and I don't think people are ready for it, and I think it's gonna cause the next huge, outlandish 2022 pitchfork of, ban the reserve list wizards, and you'll see the front page of all the special groups and the Reddit things of everybody. Rawr, this is why the reserve list, reserve list. You're gonna see all the, tagging people, and don't people do that on their Tumblrs and Twitters and their Instas and their Silk Roads back pages? I think we'll see another huge wave of that. If you guys haven't noticed, you don't hear anything about that anymore. When's the last time you hear people talking about, remove the reserve list and it's going to end anytime now, and because the market's calm. Prices aren't tanking, prices aren't going up. When the market's calm, all those little ants go back inside of their little ant hills and everybody gets very quiet. Does that make sense? All the little bugs kind of hide, everything goes back. It's like a hornet's nest. You walk by, they're in there, but everybody's calm and quiet. And then all of a sudden, when something dramatic happens, a huge windstorm, hurricane, somebody swings at the nest, it becomes a frenzy. And everything gets wacky, everybody gets wound up. That's what I believe we're going to see next. So just remember this, which I'm sure very few people will. We're past 10 minutes now. I feel that nobody's really paying attention to the reserve list. I feel no one's, it's just, sometimes it's such a bittersweet thing, man. There are just times when it's just like, every single time we go through this and the reserve list, rah, and then it's like you can hear a pin drop. Not a single comment, post, ooh, we're going to get rid of the reserve list tomorrow or next month. And that's why I kind of, if you haven't noticed, I've kind of stayed away from a lot of the reserve list conversations. And really probably almost all year of 2021. The amount of videos I've done on reserve lists or specific cards, like being bought out or skyrocketing, is the lowest I've ever done on my channel since I've started the channel in like 6 years ago. And it's funny how people don't really notice because you just kind of get accustomed to it. It's just the way it is, no big deal. Rudy's too busy pumping and dumping the Metazoos and Flesh and Blood, international money laundering, scam, fraud. I don't know, what kind of keywords can I say? Will help the video. Money laundering, scam, exposed, mortgages and credit cards in the banking and investments in Wall Street. Yeah, I don't know. Taco Bell, chalupas and gorditas and nacho cheese and crunchy. I don't know. Let's see if that helps the video. But that's and I just think that we are going to have, we're all going to wake up one day and there's going to be this next big resurgence of everybody really the reserve list, rawr! Like, I feel like it's just going to, because, it happens that way. Like, I wish there was a way to pull the metric to see how everyone wounds up about the reserve list and gets their pitchforks out and runs down the street with torches. And then nobody talks about it. They all go home. They get their party packs, watching Netflix and chilling. And then all of a sudden, 6-8 months later, everybody runs out again. It's almost like it feels like a Family Guy or a Simpsons episode or a South Park episode or a Rick and Morty episode. It just feels like something that's so hilarious and ridiculous. It's just, you're looking at it going, what? What is that? Wait a minute. Are we watching Futurama here? What's going on, man? It just cracks me up, man. But anyways, I'm just doing the basic lands here, folks. I figured I got to do this anyways. I might as well film it and turn it into a video. We're getting late in the video, so I guess we can talk about some more juicy, more dramatic stuff since we know most people won't be here this late. Do we want to talk about anything else? Should we let's stay on the Magic. Let's just talk about Magic today. We won't talk about anything weird and the other card games or Pokemon or Fab or anything. Or let's just talk about Magic today. Let's talk about the we can still talk about the new StrixHaven draft boxes are still gone. All the collector boxes, and the D&D. Whoa! Did you guys see that? I almost dropped the whole camera. I hit the back camera setup. Sorry about that. I almost hit people in the face there. Holy cow! Sorry, everybody. No, I want to comment. People have been like, Rudy, dude, you've been putting all your money in these card games like Weiss and this and that. You're gonna lose it all. It's all garbage. It's all bad. And people are like, Rudy, you put all your money in the Dungeons and Dragons collector boxes. Everybody has those piled to the ceiling. Nobody wants them. What are you doing? You're gonna bankrupt Alpha Investments again. What are you doing, Rudy? And I was like, let me give you guys a funny story. Anybody remember Throne of Eldraine collector packs? I'm sorry, Throne of Eldraine collector blister packs. Because Wizards recalled the Throne of Eldraine and Ikoria collector packs from big box stores. And, we finally made out of the lands. Cool. and they recalled these collector packs because of theft and problems in the big box stores. Anybody remember this? Dude, I love this story. This needs to be a whole separate video. So anyways, I made the agreement and committed to like $400,000 of these collectors. I was like, dude, that's awesome. You know, I can sell these. I'll run a special to patrons. I'll sell them for like, dude, I'll sell them for like $169, $179 for like Throne 12-pack collectors, you know? And I was like, dude, the market's like $250 a box. People will love them. Well, I got completely hosed. I thought it was a great idea. I thought the patrons were going to be really excited to do like a really cheap fire sale thing. And I was like literally going to sell like the master blister cases where it's equivalent to like, I think it's equal to 10 collector boxes per master case. So I was like, all right, so $1,699. So equal to $169 for Throne collector boxes, but in the blister pack form. And I thought, dude, people were going to fight over it. Dude, ladies and gentlemen, when I ran that sale, almost nobody bought it. And I was like, what? Okay. So I got stuck with it. So I ended up keeping them. I'll never forget that. And it was the weirdest moment. It was one of these moments in Magic. I was like, maybe everybody was obsessed with the launch of Flesh and Blood and Pokemon coming back with a vengeance and, you know, all the other stuff going on at the time. I don't know. So anyways, yeah, I literally couldn't sell the Throne collector packs. Okay. Love copy artifact. How's this one look? I haven't seen any more water damage, by the way. It was just this one card over here that was all wet and wavy with water damage. Super weird. Look at that. Like, it's like super funky. It's like, it's got a weird, like, poofy texture to it. Anyways, I remember then later on, it goes out of print. And all of a sudden, everybody, all these pages start asking me for those Throne collectors. Like, Rudy, please, can you sell these? I was like, dude, it's been like 6 to 8 months. Nobody bought them. So then I ran a second sale because so many people started asking me about them. And I ran them for like $209 for like 12 pack, which is equal to like a Throne collector box. Because the Throne boxes went to like 300. And I was like, all right. So then everybody were fighting over them. Started selling out quick. I was like, whoa, okay. And then at the end, I still was stuck with, I don't even know, man. It has to be hundreds of 12 packs of these collector boxes, okay? And now, Throne of Eldraine 12-pack collector box is almost $400, and the blister things are like 300 something. And I was like, okay. And now I get random patron questions like, Rudy, do you still have it? Can I buy one of those Throne blister cases? Even if you just give me 20, 30% off eBay? And I'm like, I'll give you 20% off eBay, that's it. And I'm like, dude, and I'll even ask the person, I'll even ask the patron, I was like, dude, I see the message history from like a year ago. I offered this to you. I remember you were a patron at the time. And I said, why didn't you buy it? Why? Now it's like double. And I remember like that one individual told me that, honestly, Rudy, I thought I just don't like the blister pack and the cases. And I thought the Throne thing was going to tank and go to nothing because that's what everybody was telling and commenting about online in comment sections and in Facebook groups. And I said, so you were influenced negatively because you were looking for second opinions. Everybody said, don't do it, blah, blah, blah. He essentially said yes. And I was just like, but you got to make your own decisions, folks. Are you kidding me? You know how many people make fun of me and bash me for every card game from Magic to Pokemon to Weiss to Force of Will to Flesh and Blood to Metazoo? No matter what item I sell at whatever price I do, I get negativity attacks and I lose patrons every time. That's just part of life. You cannot make everybody happy, and that's okay. If you can make the majority of people happy with what you're doing and you're on the right path and the business is stable and people are happy and if people are watching the videos, they're happy. If your content's terrible and the product is bad, no one's going to buy it and no one's going to watch and the data will reflect it. But the data doesn't reflect it, but then the attitudes act like, Magic's gone bankrupt 20 times over. That's what everybody thinks online. Every set is going to zero. Everything's bankrupt. It's like right now, I cannot believe. Like, let me take a break here in my hand. Oh my goodness, I've been doing these things. What am I, about 200 cards in? I was like, to this day, folks, let me move the camera back. To this day, here's a crazy story for y'all. To this day, the Theros collector boxes. I still have like 500, 600. No, I'm sorry, I sold a lot. Probably 400 to 500, not 5 to 6, of Theros collector boxes. With a cost basis of, I don't know what it was on clearance back then, maybe 160 or 155. It was some ridiculous clearance disaster a year ago. And now, Theros collector box is completely recovered, and they're like $240 plus tax. And it hasn't even been a year. It was like a 50 to 70% price swing. It's insane. It's insane. It blows my mind. And now here we are. That's why I've been calling Dungeons and Dragons Theros 2.0. Because I'm the only Timmy, I'm the only dum-dum out there who's literally just bought, I just dumped my checking account and bought D&D Adventures of Forgotten Realm collector boxes. Because everybody else is a stupid waste of money, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, dude, this thing is not this bad of a product. This thing should not be being fire sold and acted like it's a toxic mortgage-backed security or a credit default swap with Lehman Brothers. Too soon? Nah, it's been 12, 13 years. It's not too soon. You know, I'm sitting here going, why does nobody want this stuff? Why is everybody acting like, you know, these D&D collector boxes are completely worthless? Because that's what people are doing. Everybody is like, dude, don't. Now, don't get me wrong. I do have patrons, because I have it on my patron list, that are buying cases of it. I do have some patrons that are kind of like, dude, this is ridiculous. You know, like, you know, and I'm selling them to, what do I have on the patron list? $179 shipped to your door. I think it's $179 out the door per box, so you can get up to a case. And I've had some patrons, they request, they're just like, hey, can I buy extra? I know you have a ton and no one's buying it. And I say, sure. If you just want to buy extra, you can let me know. Especially if you're a longer term patron. I'm a softie when it comes to loyalty, when it comes to that kind of thing. But yeah, you know, there are a few people who are kind of going against the mold and they're like, Rudy, I agree with you. The attitude towards this and the D&D thing and what's going on is just unnecessary. By the way, this has got to be one of the silliest, most never talked about old Magic cards ever. And the prices just continues to creep up, and I don't know where the supply is on that card. Totally missed out on that card. So, yeah, I just want to give you guys my speech on that silly flipping Theros collectors. And I'm telling you, here I am a year later, flipping deja vu with Adventures Forgotten Realm collectors, and I'm back in the same stupid vote. I mean, think about it. Vote. I can't talk now. Think about it. 2019, I went through it with Throne. 2020, I went through it with Theros. These are all just collector boxes. 2021, collector boxes, same exact thing. Except with Adventures Forgotten Realm. This literally happens with one collector box every single year. It's the third year in a row that this has happened. And it's just completely weird. In the Throne recovered, the Theros Club recovered, and I have no reason to believe that this isn't going to recover. I have no reason to believe that Adventures Forgotten Realm... Oh, it's like, here's a good example. Like, as of the filming this, I haven't ran it yet. I'm getting ready to run a sale probably in the next few days, or the weekend coming up here, which is, I don't know when this video is going to go live. So by the time you watch this video, the sale probably are going to happen. So I don't know how it's going to unfold yet. So I'm getting ready to sell the Innistrad Midnight Hunt collector boxes. And I thought it was a cut corner. I saw the white. I thought somebody clipped the corners. Never clip the corners on collector's cards. Please, for the love of all that's goodness gracious, please don't clip the corners on these. So many people did that and destroyed these things. So I'm getting ready to run the sale within the next 5 to 7 days for the Innistrad collector boxes, Innistrad Midnight Hunt. In the market, like, nobody seems to care. Like, the negativity is like, I don't just imagine, nobody cares. Where's Modern Horizons 2, Rudy? I need a restock on Modern Horizons 2. Hey, Wheel of Fortune, finally. Any damage? Little surface issues. It's really weird. See the little surface things? Hopefully, maybe from the card sleeves or something. Anyways, I'm seeing the same thing. Like, I don't know what the deal is with Magic. I mean, I guess, well, my theory behind it is that everybody's still just so burnt out and overdone from Modern Horizons 2 being loaded with so much value that it's just every Magic product is struggling to follow it. You know? Like, that Afterglow is so ridiculous. It's bizarre. It's completely bizarre. So, I don't know. I just want to share that. I was trying to get all these sleeved cards done, but my goodness, it's taking a lot longer than I thought. And I've been rambling here for a while. I mean, probably a 20, 30-minute video here, and I might cut it off. But I just, you know, it's just, the card world is so weird, folks. Like, no matter how many years I put my life into these cards, you know, my whole life has been wrapped around dealing with trading cards. Literally, the last 10 years of my life has literally eat these cards. Like, my life has been these cards. New releases, old stuff, sealed product, expanding everything, the business, the YouTube, the stores, the warehouse, the storage. You know, that's been my whole life. And you would think after doing something as long as I've been doing with cards, that even I would be able to come on YouTube and be like, ladies and gentlemen, we got him. No, I'm kidding. Just trying to make a meme here. Where Lambo? Where Lambo, right? Is that where the monkey, the gorilla meme? Where Lambo at? I bought crypto 2 seconds ago. That's got to be the funniest meme ever. So, I'm sitting here like, dude, I've been dealing with these cards for so long. And even I cannot come on YouTube and tell you, all right, ladies and gentlemen, this box right here is $200. It's going to be $210. It's going to drop to $205. It's going to go to $235. Like, no, I can't even give you the slightest idea of how a lot of these products are going to age. I have no clue. I have no flipping clue, man. It is completely insane to even try to predict it. And I think that's what creates a lot of negativity, and it prevents a lot of people from kind of going big. They choose to go home. They don't go big, they go home. I believe that's why. I believe literally kind of the bigger reason to it is just the unpredictability in the sphere of the market. People are so afraid, not even the FOMO, the FUD, that fear, uncertainty, doubt, the FUD around every, okay, Rudy, what's the new product? Oh God, I gotta unload it. I mean, like I said, like Monarch First Edition, oh boy. I swear, I'm gonna go down in history with this Monarch First Edition thing, because when it goes to zero, Remember, if you have Monarch First Edition, please sell me your cases, $800, and I pay your shipping, AlphainvestmentsLLC at gmail.com. Send me, tell me what you got. Let me buy your Monarch First Edition. For sealed boxes. Anyway, it's just the fear of every product. Just people lose their mind. It's like they make a decision that they come to the conclusion it's a good idea to buy or collect or invest or do whatever they do. And then after like a week or 2 weeks go by, they're like, oh my God, I paid $200 a box. Oh jeez, it's $190 box. I'm down 5%. Hey. Not, it's just all of a sudden, like people, like the psychological ability to handle this stuff just like goes out the window and people lose their mind. It's just nuts, man. And I feel like, how many stories in the world of Magic, okay? And I know, well, Rudy, you could have said that about Pogs or Beanie Babies. Yeah, well, I would never have ever. I was involved with Pogs when I was a kid, and I never considered them investments. I just threw them around and thought they were fun because they were like 12 for $1. They're like 10, they're like 8 cents a piece or something. And Beanie Babies, I don't know much about it. I just didn't get into it as a kid, so I can't help you with that. But I still don't understand how many things in the card world in the last, everything in the last 5 to 10 years in the card world. What could you have bought that really, if you didn't sell it, would have completely ruined your life? Like that, like seriously, like people focus on the fear of all this stuff. Okay, give me an example of a terrible situation. Give me an example of it going really wrong and everything went to just complete disaster. Give me an example. Can anybody give me an example? And don't say something silly like, well, Rudy, what's it called? Buddy Fight. They stopped making Buddy Fight, and some of these other Card Fight, Vanguard, and Weiss and Force of Will have been struggling. Okay. Okay, so have they really been struggling? Are they really doing that bad? I mean, are any of these card games really that bad? Because from the data that I see and the volume and the sales and the pricing and the secondary market, everything looks pretty damn good to me. I mean, I don't see an issue with anything. But of course, everyone out there is going to do anything they can possibly do to give you the downside and just the scare, fear, garbage to hold you back in this world. Stupid, just bad attitudes, man. The opportunities, and I will tell you all again, we're so late in the video, I know nobody's even watching this crap. The amount, there's never been a better time than now to be a part of the collectible card world moving forward. I'm telling you all, we are in a golden age era. I told the patrons that also. I don't know when you guys watch this video. But I feel we are in almost a post-2020 golden era of between the world, the economy, collectibles, inflation. We're in like a golden age of amazing quality card games, a lot of money, the collectible world being treated more seriously. We're in a very special time period. And the worst part about life and time periods and understanding and reflection is you don't realize that until it's over. You don't realize that until it comes to an end. You don't realize that you're in a good period of time or good time in your life until you look back and reflect on it in the future and you go, oh crap, that really was a decent time. And it's already over. That's the nasty part and the reality of the way this world works. I think that's a good spot to end this. I actually got all these things de-sleeved, so thanks for watching, folks. I hope you all just kind of sit back, you learn something, and it's just so important to have that critical thinking, the ability to sit back and listen, make your own decisions. Listen to me, listen to everybody else, take in the data and just sit back and listen and come up with your own opinion. You know, I do the best I can to make sure, you know, I get things as right as possible, but even then I get things wrong all the time. That's normal. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. And anybody, remember that, folks, too. I want to get this out here at the end, too. Anyone who's trying to tell you that don't listen to, you know, Timmy's Emporium or don't listen to this big card store in Texas or New York or the big channel Snowballs or ABU game, don't, you know, they're all, you know, first of all, you know, everyone's human. Just because another channel or somebody said something that didn't turn out to be true, or I made one of my predictions that turned out to be false, it doesn't make any real difference. It's okay when another channel gets it wrong. It's okay if somebody says, Rudy, these collector's edition cards are going to tank to nothing eventually. You know, and if they're wrong, which I think they will be, and I don't see that happening. But I'm not going to attack that person. I respectfully disagree, and we'll let time determine who's right. And that's the difference between people who tend to be very successful and very wealthy long-term entrepreneurs, is they have that ability to listen, absorb, and create their own conclusions. And I feel like we're lacking that, man. I feel like we're heading to 2022, and it's just like people are just in this, I don't even know, social media, I have to only listen to this certain group of this. It's just a weird thing. And I feel like so many people are going to reflect back on this in 10 years. It's going to be like 2030, going into the next decade. And people are going to look back and be like, oh my God, the opportunities and how cheap and the market. And that's what I think is going to happen. And no one's going to realize it until 2030 shows up. My ass is going to be long gone from YouTube. The world's going to be a different place. And some of these videos are just going to be an absolute treasure trove.